Yeah, well, I am just going to run through just the basic premise for the 6v6 format. I know that some of the people viewing this will be coming from communities that really haven't seen that much exposure to competitive TF2 compared to our normal viewer audience here on Team Fortress TV. So I'm just going to run you through it very briefly. So tonight we're going to be playing 6v6. This is a 6v6 tournament. It's the largest. It's the largest kind of what's the word, Admirable? The largest thing in competitive TF2 6v6. What's the word that I'm missing here?
You've got format. All the words you need.
Format. That is the word that I was looking for. It's the largest format in competitive TF2 6v6. There is also 9v9 Highlander that gets played, where one of each class. Some people play 4v4 as well, although that's pretty small. And then there's a few little things that happen on the side, like B-ball and ulti duo, which are 2v2 as well. But the main one here, 6v6, that's the one that's going to be played tonight. Normally teams will run a medic, a demoman, 2 soldiers and 2 scouts, but that's completely up to the teams. One of each class is allowed, with 2 scouts and 2 soldiers and 2 spies as well, So they are the class limits. The weapon restrictions you can find on whitelist.tf or on ETF2L itself. They're really moving towards a more open whitelist. That means more and more weapons are being allowed. So if you have a particular favorite weapon or a favorite loadout that you enjoy running in pub servers, in games, in lobbies, things like that, there's a much better chance that they'll be allowed this season than in previous seasons. ETF2 are really trying to make it as inclusive as possible, so that if you want to play with a weapon that's a bit out of the box, then you can. So some of the teams that we're going to be seeing here, I imagine will be running slightly different strats than what we expect, just due to the fact that they're a little newer to the scene. But it'll just make it even more exciting. Win limits are after 30 minutes of play, whichever team is leading in rounds will win the map, or there is a mercy rule, which is if one team gets more than 5 rounds ahead of the other team, the game stops and we declare that team the victor. If it goes to a draw, I believe they play a golden cap, which is essentially 1 extra round and the winner takes all. So there's a little rundown of the 6v6 format for you, which is what we're going to be seeing tonight, just in case anybody was wondering, if anybody hasn't caught up with this stream before. We are Team Fortress TV. We cast a lot of these games from all the way from the bottom, which is I guess essentially what we're casting tonight, but it'll still be a lot of fun, all the way up to the top of the Premiership.
On the top of the Archimedes Cup. There could potentially be more money available for these rookie players in this cup than in the ETFTL Premiership. How does that make you feel, Sideshow?
Oh, that's perfectly fine by me, since we have no chance of getting any of the money at the top of the Premiership anyway. So.
Me neither. We do have the STV, we've got our live stats. I'm going to touch wood here and say that we're good to go. I'm going to open up TF2 here and try and connect. And we could potentially be getting underway for our first game. And it's only been like 50 minutes. This is already a factor of 2, maybe 3 times more efficient than last weekend. This is beautiful, Sideshow. Things are happening. Wheels are in motion.
And that's good to see, the fact that we'll be able to get onto this server and cast in a game within, I don't know, how long have we been live now? It's a fraction of the time that it was last time anyway. So
connection failed, Sideshow.
Oh no, don't break my heart like that. I was just about to put it in my console. You can't play me like this, Admirable.
Don't worry, I'll get to the bottom of this. Oh, Suyooo says it's up now just as I kill it. Disgusting. I just slayed the server, but it'll be back up again.
Okay, so we will be coming at you very shortly with our first 6v6 game. Just run us through which team this is again, Admirable. This is going to be, is this Chapman again?
Yeah, it's going to be Chapman versus not only Rockets Love You. So obviously Chapman we saw beating the flying gummy bears, bodied by Kratos, last weekend. think it was like 5-3, 5-2, I forget. But it was a pretty convincing win. Both teams showing quite a lot of nuance to their game. And this time, not only Rockets Love You are buddied by another ETF2L player called Clark, who's playing somewhere around the mid divisions. So he's obviously got some experience, some ability. He's from Latvia. And he's going to be trying to guide his team to victory. But, you know, they're coming up against Chapman. That's no easy task, Sideshow.
It really isn't. We saw that team play last week, and they crushed their opposition. No, it was a very close game between them and the Flying Gummy Bears. It was really fun to watch, and we had a chat to the team afterwards. They were pleasantly optimistic about their chances of doing well in this tournament, so we'll see whether not only Rockets Love You can put a halt to their optimism and crush them in return, but it'll be really interesting to see how it goes either way. This Not Only Rockets Love You team, I've got big hype for them. I believe in them, Admirable.
I see the embers of a riot there being reignited on Twitch chat, but I just want to let everyone know that now is not the time to riot. Now is the time to watch some TF2 action. Yak is asking me, should they be readying up? I'm saying we're good. Go for it! I'm typing in caps to let him know. Give him that extra boost he needs, but it is going to be Badlands here. We're sort of taking a step back in time to round one. Even though most of those games were played last weekend, some of them didn't, and barely any of the round 2 and round 3 games got played. So there's going to be 3 hours of action coming up, featuring Chapman, Not Only Rockets Love You, the Trenchcoat Mafia, Triangle, Aurora Esports, and Comunidad Portuguesa New Wave Edition. And that's all going to be coming right here on Team Fortress TV. If you just joined us, this is our coverage of the first TF2 Center Archimedes Cup, sponsored by Scrap.tf. I am Admirable. He is Sideshow. Suyoo's the incredible cameraman. We got Jill, our generous benefactor, just whipping out raffles there every 15 minutes. These teams are going to be getting underway in less than 90 seconds. Once we've sort of restored the time continuum with that 90-second STV delay, we're almost live, just slightly behind. We've got some live stats as well, some streamer stats. I've got them open, Sideshow. I'm going to be catching air shots.
And you're going to leave me in the dark. No, I'm going to open up those incredible stream stats that we have as well, so that I can catch all of the big highlights before they happen and then talk about them as they happen on the screen. We've just got the players playing DM at the moment. I'm catching up, having a look at the rosters. We ran through them before, but I'm just going to very quickly run through them again. It looks like the teams are just getting ready to start. On the Jai Chapman side, we've got Yak on Medic, we have Nasboy on Demoman, the Soldiers Megazord, and Hobnob, Scouts, Itz, and Cav, and we have gone live, Admirable.
Yeah, boy. On to the first mid. I think I'm going to check out Nasboy, the red Demoman. He was pretty decent, and as I jumped to him, I see he's timed out. Curse of the caster. He's not even going to make it to middle, so our red team, Jai Chapman, are only 5 players here. They're being swarmed by the blue forces of not only Rockets Love You, and that man advantage isn't really working out for them. They have capped the point almost. No, they didn't quite get it, but they've lost a few players there, and now you're going to see that Jai Chapman coming forward. There was a big jump in there by Hobnobs, but he did get gunned down. Varen is going to keep his medic Clark alive, and now they're coming in. Their cap time in the point decayed, and Red are actually starting to put some time on it, Jai Chapman, but they realise that this isn't a good fight to take. They're slightly outnumbered there. They've got a soldier and a scout versus 2 scouts, and with those rockets it gives you that sort of area control. You can stun players, launch them into the air, and they do get that 1 scout. They force the Uber as well, so this is a good engagement by our first time players here. Not only Rockets Love You, their first time on the stream, I mean.
Yeah, they're coming up to the choke here. It's just gonna be a little bit of a spam battle here as we see this normal stalemate situation as they hold around the choke point. Both of the teams just going to get full buffs, maybe make something happen, maybe bomb a roamer in, something like that, or just wait for their Ubers to come up. It's difficult to get around this choke point without an Uber. just because of how tight it is, and the stickies and rockets that are flying in. You take so much damage if you just try and walk around there without being invincible. So both of the teams just kind of chipping away at each other, seeing if they can make a play here. I can see a sticky trap going up in house here from this boy, and one in choke as well. We'll see if that catches anything, but it actually looks like not only Rockets Love You putting some of their players from the flank into the resup area there, maybe trying to catch Megazord out. Zoidberg's hiding, waiting for somebody to come forward, but it doesn't look. Oh, it's a bomb in from Faded Skylight. He gets taken out, but he does a lot of damage to Hobnobs. It looks like not only Rockets Love You really trying to use this opportunity to push around choke. They do get in, but they've had to use their Uber. They've had to flash it as well, which decays the time of the Uber. And that means that not only Rockets Love You's Uber will run out first, Cav, sorry, is going to use that. And that's boy bombs in, but unfortunately bombs in to his death. They do pick up the enemy Demoman in return though, and it does look like, oh no, Varen's coming out to sort this situation. He does take out Yak with that final rocket, but with only 2 players alive from not only Rockets Love You and only one of them on the point, it does look like the red team is going to be able to take control of the midpoint and push forward here.
Yeah, it was smashing it on the flank there during all that action, because the 2 scouts from not only Rockets Love You had managed to bust through on the flank through to Shithouse, and he took them on in a 2v1, killed them off, then came to the middle, killed off both soldiers, and they managed to cap right there. So he is going ham on the respawn though. Check this out, Yak, the buddy medic for Jai Chapman, has switched it up. He's running Kritzkrieg. He's not going to get it in time to contest this Uber charge that will be coming in from Clark very soon, but after that, if they can manage to keep Yak alive, there could be a crits hammer coming in. They've got their demo man up too, which is also always a great combination. Crit stickies, very powerful. Oh, Clark trying to encourage his team to chase in and get that medic pick, ends up totally overextended, and it's an absolute wipe. They didn't even have to use the Kritzkrieg. They just got totally smashed. Their Megazord, I think, was in behind from the house as well, so it was a little bit of a pincer maneuver, but they really wanted to make that Uber charge pay and try and find those frags, but the positioning from Jai Chapman was just excellent. They were able to get out of range of that, and they ended up baiting their opponents into that. But now the crits has come in Sideshow. Uh-oh.
They are going to be facing a Pyro and Heavy on defense here. Dr. Zoidberg going to be trying to desperately reflect those crit stickies. They do take down the Heavy, and they just swarm onto the point, having just completely cleared the area with that Kritzkrieg, and they do pick up the first round here. Jai Chapman looking like they're in the driving seat, but we'll see what happens on middle as well. Hopefully we won't have any Demoman timeouts on the way. I'm going to be following Nasboy to the mid. They haven't been cursed by the casters here. They are just going to be trading some damage. Dr. Nope going to be hanging around that shithouse area. He does actually back off. Megazord going for a play onto Faded Skylight. Does manage to pick him up in the house. 2 players down now from not only Rockets Love You. Varen trying to put some pressure on the enemy team just to give his team some space, but it's actually that's come up from behind. Manages to pick up Clark, and Dr. Zoidberg goes down as well. Only the Demoman left alive, and he's going to be taken out. That's a full wipe, and they didn't manage to pick up a single player there from Jai Chapman. A great play from them.
Yeah, McFucker, the Demoman, he got a long spawn there, so there's not going to be any stickies here. And that's one of the things that can buy you time against an Uber charge, a few stickies on the point there, because obviously you can't cap at the same time as you're Ubered, so you have to sort of roll the dice. But he has just spawned. He's going to be trying to walk forward and get the foresight here, but he's playing a dangerous game because there's invulnerable players on his face right now. He's getting pressured hard by Hobnobs. He will get the frag, so Demoman down the point is open to be capped, and it's going to be cabbing it straight in there, and they get the frag. But they do die post round, but the round has been awarded. It's 2-0 here to Jai Chapman as we go to the third middle. Still 24 minutes ish left on the clock, and we're going to need to see a slightly different approach here from Clark's and from not only Rockets Love You if they want to make Jai Chapman think twice about this. But they're in danger of running away with it onto this mid fight though, and it seems like it's Jai Chapman who are playing slightly passively. Faded Skylight, big bomb in, followed up by Varen. Both soldiers trying to get in onto that train, but Megazord's controlling the Rockets train right now. It's just McFucker and Clark here, Demoman and Medic. They don't have crits this time, but they have managed to kill off Yak, so the smart play here is to, you know, keep your Medic alive and you can do that by just simply running away, but McCucker's getting pressured hard. Clark knows he should just abandon him there. He's running, he's gotten the kit in lobby, he's being chased by a weak soldier. He thinks he can kill him with one arrow, but it isn't enough. Megazord can't get the rocket onto Clark's. He will live to get this charge up. And now they're going to contest Spire here. Cav's in danger of getting picked off, but already his team are 2 down. One spawn just comes in there, but we really need to be seeing not only Rockets Love You pushing hard here with this Uber. Crits again, Sideshow, for Yak.
Yeah, it's interesting because they are going to be facing an Uber very shortly. I think they're just hoping to be able to force them and run away. The Uber is forced very early from Clark. Yak is going to be able to escape via choke, and they are not actually getting any frags with this Uber charge. Oh, they do get one just at the end there with Hobnobs. Megazord bombs in, trying to put some pressure onto Rockets as the crit screed comes in. Skylight down, McFucker down as well. Only 2 of them alive, Clark and Dr. Nope for the Rockets team. Dr. Nope doing a decent job. Clark actually coming in, gets the 50% off with both of those Uber saws. Does actually go down, but treads for the Demo Man. That was a lovely little surf there by Clark. Just surfing in and then getting 2 Uber saws on the enemy Demo Man. But he does go down there. It is a nice play by Chapman, and they are going to be able to get control of Spire with a big crit screed advantage here. The crit screed of course builds a lot quicker than the Uber charge. That means that if they both have it, if they both start building at the same time, they're gonna have the crit screed about, what is it, about 10 seconds before the Uber charge comes into play. Of course, a great counter for the crit screed is the engineer with his sentry gun, because crits do not do any extra damage to those buildings. Dr. Zoidberg sat at the back there building up his sentry gun, and then he'll move it into another position possibly. That's going to be a great counter to Yak's crits, which is going to come up in about 5 seconds.
Yeah, Clark whipping out crits of his own as well, defensive crits, but he's about 35% off the pace here, so they're going to have to weather this storm. Of course, like critical damage doesn't affect sentries, so it's going to be put up a bit of a fight here. It's still alive here. That level 3 is in action. It just goes down, but the engineer, Dr. Zoidberg, was already dead, so he can't switch to another class.
A great crit though on the point. A counter crit comes out from Clark and Varen. Varen picks up a brace of frags, but unfortunately they just can't get the pick onto the Demo Man of Nasboy, and he's going to be able to pick it up. Oh, so close there from Clark and Varen, but they're not quite able to do it.
I like this. Both teams are going to stick with crit screed here. They're really trying to create a chaotic game. So this middle should be very intense. You might see the medic trying to just play a little bit passively to make sure they get that crits up. Sometimes changes people's mindset, but it's a volley rollout here from not only Rockets Love You. They're trying to take on the fight of Megazord, who has jumped behind into their house, but meanwhile Zoidberg runs in and kills off Nazboy, so they already have the Demo Man advantage. That all-powerful class McFucker with a real opportunity to put out a lot of damage for his team, but the crits is going to come up slightly earlier for Yak. He's popped off, but Hobnobs gets absolutely smashed in the face by Varn. The crits didn't even connect. 0 damage done. Clark's going to be able to pop off his crits for free because Yak is dead, and he's already automatically ahead in the Uber charge race here. But a great middle there coming out from not only Rockets Love You. I knew they had it in them. We do have a game in our hands, Sideshow.
We absolutely do. There's 20 minutes remaining, 3-0 down, but they can certainly come back from this. They've got all the time in the world here to come back, and they're looking like they're in a great position to do so. 54, it's about 50% crits advantage here. Is Yak running a crits of his own? No, he's actually going to be running the normal medigun, the Uber, to defend with. They are running a sentry as well to defend. The sentry did a lot of work for the previous push, but that was the opposite team running it, so taking a page out of not only Rockets Love You's book to defend here. They do have the crit screed up now. Clark is going to be making his way through main, possibly. It actually looks like they're climbing Spire to go in through the top. This could be a little bit dangerous because if they don't push quickly, Yak is going to get his Uber charge, and if it comes to a fight between crit screed and invulnerable players, we know who wins there, Admirable.
Oh, they spotted stickies here as well, so this is slowing them down even more. If they had just immediately gone up the Spire and hopped across, they would have avoided it. losing all this time, but now the crits is going to be countered by these invulnerable guys, and Yak is trying to encourage the
crits
team
wasn't
forward.
even used, Admirable. They just they just baited it out. The Uber charge was popped off incredibly early for some reason, and now they're re-pushing through main. They've got their crit screed, they pop it off onto McFucker. Let's see if he can McFuck anybody. He absolutely gets destroyed himself. Him and Dr. Zoidberg go down. They switch it over to Baron as he gets a pick. They're still trying to push this from main. Nasboy's really weak. If they can get the pick on him, the point will be completely open. Unfortunately, they can't, and it's only Clark left alive. If he can meet up with the two spawners of McFucker and Dr. Zoidberg, he might have a chance of staying alive. He's getting some good arrows out, actually, on the soldier who's trying to chase him. It looks like he will be able to escape here.
Ooh, Clark on 5 health there. Just dodges a couple of crossbow bolts there. Those needles flying through the air. But there's sort of... the sentry's gone now, but it wasn't really covering the point. There was a danger that they could have just walked in and capped. But they did manage to hold on there. Our friends from Chapman, previous champions last weekend in their game. They're looking for another win here. They're currently 3-0 up, and there are 17 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock. There's a mercy rule of 5, so if they can get a win difference of 5 rounds in the lead, the game will end too. But right now it's all to play for, and it's going to be crits versus Uber again. Our defending team, Chapman, running that medigun. They've almost got it, but the crits is coming in very soon. They're getting close. It's gonna be crits versus Uber, but can Yak click fast enough? Oh, he's gonna lose it.
Oh, and they just jump on the point and cap it off. Dr. Nope doing a good job. As soon as the crits comes in bottom top left, he just ran in through that bottom right area, just knowing that everybody would be looking at McFucker and Clark as they came in with the crits creek, and just sneakily caps it off. 3-1 the scoreline as we go into our 5th middle, and I am feeling a shift in momentum here, Admirable. It's not only Rocket's time.
Yeah, and they're gonna be the initiators here. Faded Skylight jumping forward and then drops into the valley. He's getting hounded by both scouts though, but Zoidberg goes for Yak this time, gets the pick onto the medic. Clark is very safe here. He's got lots of bodies in front of him, but they're just exploding into Gibbs as the furious remaining players from Chapman storm forward to avenge their medic. They've killed 5 players. They're looking for the wipe here. Clark is being chased down across Grey Bridge there by It's into the lobby. Clark tries to go for the Uber Saw through the roller doors. Thought that It's would be not wise to his move, but he had it, he read it, he just backed out and gunned him down. Ruthless play there.
Absolutely, and that really late death by Clark puts him in a really late spawn. So having just spawned now, Yak has a 20% Uber advantage, which they might be able to work with. Is he going to be running crits? No, it's a medigun from Yak, and Clark on the defense is going to be running crits Krieg. So they're going to have the Ubers at about the same time. In fact, Clark might have the crits a little bit before. They're going to be banking on that. They're going to be building very fast, with Dr. Nope hitting himself in the face with that Boston Basher just to build the Uber up even quicker. So if they're building at absolute max pace here, not only Rockets Love You will have the crits Krieg before Yak gets the Uber charge, they're going to be trying to push out with this and kill him off before he gets it. So that'll be really interesting, a really aggressive defense. The best defense is a good offense, and McFucker and Yak really want to make that happen. They get absolutely destroyed. The only pick they get is of the Demo Man, only Baron left alive. It seems that the way that Chapman were holding that upper lobby was just perfect. They didn't let not only Rockets Love You have any space at all. Clark's
fault, man. Clark, he just stepped out ahead of his Demo Man, and it's something I'm guilty of. Like, you're trying to lead the push or tell people to go forward, but Clark was too fast there, and he was in front taking the hits when it should have been his heel target, McFucker, that was soaking up all that damage. But pretty disastrous there. It could have worked beautifully, but the execution wasn't there. But on this mid fight though, we're seeing a very passive play coming out from Chapman. They're all mostly in the red house waiting for Megazord to come in. He's coming and turned a lot of heads. Now they're coming out. Nazboy, Yak, Cav, and It's. They killed off Dr. Nope. They killed off Clark. McFucker, Faded. They're all down here. They're dropping like flies. Sideshow. Only Baron remains alive, and he's going to be last to join them in the spawn queue. And he gets a huge 22-second spawn there. That's painful. But what looked like free middle for not only Rockets Love You ended up to be a little bit of a trap there, a bit of a ploy, I think, from Chapman. they've come out strong.
It did. They really weren't paying attention to where Megazord was, and he came in, got onto Clark, and turned everybody's heads away, and managed to pick up the frag as well. So great play by him. Pyro on defense this time instead of the sentry gun that we've seen previously. Yak is going to be running the normal medigun, so they're just running this Pyro to try and deny the Uber as it comes in. That'll buy a lot of time for Clark to get his medi charge up, and I imagine that Dr. Nob, the Pyro, will just be blasting it away. They've got him with both of the scouts in an attempt to kill the Pyro. Scout's the best class at killing Pyros. Cav is on the point now, the stickies are blown, and now it's up to not only Rockets Love You to play on this low ground and really try and defend from Jai Chapman. Megazord does get a frag onto Dr. Zoidberg, but gets picked up in return by Varen. It's only the Demo Man left alive. He's actually trying, he's trying for a back cap here. He's hiding in main. Did they spot him? Yes, they did. Oh, they spotted him there. Varen picks him up. They were wise to that. They knew that there was one player left alive. They knew that it could have been somebody going for that back cap. He was just hiding in main there, waiting until the team had pushed out to sneak in behind and get the capture. But Clark and Varen had his number. Clark's actually been forced there on Stone Bridge. He's going to be sending McFucker forwards to do as much damage as he can. He does pick up the medic there of Yak, so that's great by them. They will pick up Spire as well, but it looks like Itz is actually going for a back cap. Itz is going to be taken on a faded Skylight on last, but they've already capped it off, so no back cap there for Itz. He's just going to be causing a bit of havoc behind them in that upper lobby and balcony area.
This is a tricky situation. Clark and Dr. Nope are forward here, but Dr. Nope leaves Clark alone, but wow, it's just chokes and can't land a single shot on the medic. Clark gonna be able to catch a little rocket there to get him down to half health, but now he's starting to heal up his team and they're getting ready to move forward. They have this man advantage and the Uber advantage, so you know, automatically Jai Chapman need to be taking a slightly defensive stance here, otherwise they're putting themselves into a fight where the odds are stacked against them. So you see the way they're sitting back on their own train here. That gives them plenty of room for their medic to escape, because in terms of sixes classes, the medic's sort of the one that sets the speed limit there. He's the slowest class because the scout runs faster. The demos, soldiers, they can projectile jump to cover great distances at speed. So Yak's staying defensive. He's telling his team to sort of get out with him. There comes that Uber charge in from not only Rockets Love You, and they have just outpositioned him there. They beat it out. They've seen that pop coming in. It was telegraphed. They're able to get out there. They've been outplayed. And now Jai Chapman, even though they've lost this middle point, they're sitting here with a great opportunity to push in. If their opponent's position isn't great, they can really crush them here. But already, not only Rockets Love You are making this huge flank play, they're coming around behind on the Grey Ridge. They're just swarming around them. They're going to collapse now. They're playing a dangerous game here, Sideshow. They're trying to force the Uber without losing too many players themselves, but they're also capping the point as well. There's so many decisions to be made here by Jai Chapman, but they just seem to be looking for frags at the minute. They've killed the capper off, and they're going to be able to hold on to their own Spire, but there's still many threats. There's players behind, there's players in front. They don't know where to look.
Yeah, this is a really strange situation. Dr. Zoidberg, Faded, Skylight and Clark are all behind the enemy team. There's a possibility for them to back cap or just come behind with the Uber charge, but with so few players left alive, Faded Skylight's going to have a real difficult time getting any frags with this Uber charge. It might just be the fact that they have to use it just to get Clark out of there. He's desperately trying to pick up the frag on the Demo Man. He will manage to do that. That's a fairly decent Uber after in the situation that they were in, but he is going to go down in exchange for that. And now Jai Chapman have got control of that midpoint, and it's going to be them that are moving forwards. Clark in a dire situation here, only on 20 health. 5 health does go down to it as Megazord bombs in, causing a distraction behind it as well. Hobnob's fighting McFucker the Demo Man in that resup area, isn't going to manage to come out on top. McFucker defending himself with an excellent pipe there. But again, it is Jai Chapman that really in the driving seat here. They are going to be able to take control of Spire, and not only Rockets Love You have got to stop letting their players die if they want a chance to hold on to last. Yeah, they're just getting forward now. They've got that charge 95%. They're going to be pushing momentarily. McFucker down, no stickies up. They should be able to walk in for free here, and this is a really tough situation for not only Rockets Love You. They're going to whip out the Pyro. That air blast is really perfect for denying Uber players here. He's just going to juggle them back, try and stuff them into that hole there, but Zoidberg's coming in behind just as the Uber fades, going to gun down Megazord, but there's no one on the point to block it in time. And again, Jai Chapman managed to engineer
a capture. They're going to make it 5-1. They're at match point right now. If they can take the next round, that'll put them into the mercy rule. They'll be able to win outright here. But not only Rockets Love You, I imagine they're going to be going hell for leather on this mid fight. They're sending both scouts underneath. They've rolled out from Valley themselves. Baron's going to jump forward. Beat it. Skylight's following up on his damage. They've got a lot of very hurt players on both sides. Dr. Nope's trying to run straight for Yak, but gets denied by the scattergun of Cav. And I see a little pause here, Sideshow.
Yeah, I've got a pause as well. So let's have a look at what's happening on this mid fight. They do have... Oh, no, they've gone live straight away there. It's a very small pause. Nasboy does manage to pick up another player with pipes. It looks like Baron's going to pick up a frag. In return, Nasboy bombs in actually behind everybody. Is hitting another great pipe onto McFucker there. And he's going to be desperately trying to do more and more damage to this Demoman and Medic. Clark, the only one left alive on 90%. He desperately needs somebody to spawn and meet up with him so that they can build that Uber up to full and contest here, but it looks like he's only just started healing now. That's going to allow Chapman enough time to get round that choke point and start the attack on Spire. They have no Demoman alive to defend the Spire here, which means that all of their players are going to find it difficult to put damage down on that Spire because it's so high. They are going to bomb both of their soldiers up there. They take down the sky. And Yak still has his Uber charge. He's got down to 7 health, and then Zoidberg picks him up. Great play. He dropped the Uber there though, Yak. I feel like he could have definitely used that and it would have gone fairly well. Clark goes down in return, though both of the medics down, but it's going to be not only Rockets Love You with far more players left alive, so they're going to be able to take up mid here as long as they work together. But Hobnob's in the house, manages to pick up Dr. Nope and Baron. Incredible plays, and then Nasboy picks up 2 of his own. Ridiculous plays there from the Soldier of Hobnobs and the Demoman of Nasboy. That was ridiculous. 2 frags apiece when they absolutely should have lost both of those situations. Just great play from them, and that swung the tide of the battle completely in their flavor, in their favor.
Huge plays. Just checking the clock here, the railroad clock. The second round games might be getting underway around now too, but the game we'd hoped to cast has been forfeited, so we were a little uncertain as to what game we'll be going to next, but there will be at least 2 more maps worth of action coming up tonight across Process and the Granary. But right now it's Jai Chapman versus not only Rockets Love You, and Jai Chapman with a commanding lead here, 5-1, 6 minutes left on the clock. It's a huge ask for not only Rockets Love You, but they're doing their best to contest this Spire. Baron combines with McFucker to take down Cav, and if you kill off those scouts it makes it very tricky for you to cap that ×2 power, very powerful. And they've just sent it back into the spawn queue. McFucker's under a lot of pressure though from Itz around Grey Bridge, but he does survive. 20 health, he's going to be able to get some heals from his medic Clark, and Yak went down right towards the end of that fight. Zoidberg again had his number. He's taken him down. He's got a great opportunity for his team. It's on the cards here. The comeback is real. Nasboy's just chilling out on slope. Is he timed out again? What?
Possibly only on 13 health. He's being healed up now by his medic of Yak, and they're gonna be going forwards. But it really is not only Rockets Love You's time to shine here. They have this Uber charge, full Uber. They're gonna pop it off. They're gonna be trying to get as many frags as they possibly can here in an effort to pick up the round very quickly. There's 5 minutes remaining. They need 4 rounds to take this to a golden cap and have a chance of winning. They need to stream forward very quickly here. Hobnobs is trying to attack their medic though, as everybody's left Clark. The medic, one of the slowest classes in the game, even though he runs faster than almost everybody else, just because the soldiers and Demoman can jump forward. Unfortunately, the medic, doesn't have that luxury. They're going to be pushing now through Resup though, it looks like, or possibly through the house. Yeah, they're going through the house onto this haunter area, the patio there, outside house. The Demoman's going to jump onto Spire. Megazord's going to try and defend that. Doesn't quite hit the airshot, but will be able to take down Faded Skylight. And as not only Rockets Love You back off into choke with this Uber disadvantage, it's looking like a dire situation for them. Yeah.
Chances of claiming victory maybe slipping away, but they still have the opportunity to save face here and claim some rounds practice for the next 2 rounds coming up tonight. Megazord's going to jump in and try and make space for his team. He's bullying Varan back here. Now turns his attention to McFucker, but both players still have plenty of health. But they realise that they are sort of outnumbered here. There's only 3 of them in the middle, 1 in the valley as well. Clark's going to pop off. He needs to try and encourage his team to get that force onto Yak, but they've been separated, and now Yak is being able to milk his Uber all the way. Pops off now with Hobnobs as they're coming through choke. All they need to do is find a few frags to continue to maintain that man advantage. They're going to get Clark in the lobby as well, and this is going to be potentially the nail in the coffin here for not only Rockets Love You. Whoa, McBucker tries to jump from the forward reese up there to deny the spire, but it was spotted out early, and just as he jumped he was stunned back, so he totally lost his forward momentum. And now it's Megazord going all the way to last, gets beasted by Varun. Not only Rockets Love You are not giving up just yet, but Faded Skylight needs heals urgently. He's getting rushed by Cav as he tries to go for Yak the medic, but McFucker spawns just in the nick of time. He's going to be spamming down those stickies and manages to clean up. I can't see any threats here. Both players from Jai Chapman are in front, so the back cap threat is not real. It's okay. They can still do it.
They are going to be streaming forward here. Megazord jumping onto the spire in an attempt to create some space for the rest of his team to come in. It's Hobnobs and Cav now coming round the choke. They are going to be fighting this spire, desperately trying to stop it being captured. Cav just got a little bit too far ahead of the rest of his team. Without the rest of the damage that those players can provide, he does get taken down. So does the other scout on his team, and they've got to back up now or risk being flanked. Dr. Zoidberg is going to be underneath that bridge coming through Valley. He's going to come on top of the point and be chasing down Yak. He does manage to get the frag there, and Varun picks up another one onto Hobnobs. Only 3 players left alive, and 2 of them are spawners. The scouts from Jai Chapman, the only ones really left alive. The Uber charge is up for Clark as well, and they're going to be coming forward through this choke point, attempting to pick up the spire. 2 minutes remaining though, and 4 rounds required. It's not technically possible, but not only Rockets Love You are going to try and make this scoreline as respectable as possible, Admirable.
Yeah, this is their opportunity to curry favour with us, and they'll be on our radar perhaps for season 20, but it's going to be a forward hold here from Nazboy. He's putting down stickies on both roller doors. He does dead though and realises his team isn't with him. He's going to back off to last there. Jai Chapman will be just battening down the hatches here, trying to weather this Uber charge that's about to come in. Looks like they're going to push top left. They've got McFucker, the Demoman, poised. He wants to go down lower. They're going to flash in a scout as well. Dr. Nook gets the flash. He's going to be able to make a play for the point. He's throwing himself on there, but Cav is going for the block. Oh, they're trying to make it happen. Jai Chapman with the defense, but they can't. There's just too many Uber players in there and they don't have the bodies, and that's going to be Dr. Note claiming that cap, getting their second round on the board. But there's a 3 rounds difference here and only 60 seconds of time left. It's just not mathematically possible, Sideshow.
It isn't, and it seems like they've changed the map. So they didn't respect the fact that we are 90 seconds behind, and they're going to change the map there and stop us witnessing the final round. But yeah, the result was set in stone as soon as that timer ticked beyond the realms of possibility. So I think the final score there is going to be 5-2 in favor of Jai Chapman. They're going to pick that one up, but it was pretty close. It looked like not only Rockets Love You could have got back into it at any point, but they were just a little too late.
Yeah, we do have the logs there. You can confirm that scoreline didn't change. Of course, we love our stats in competitive TF2. It gives you just another weapon in your arsenal. You can assess your own performance, your teammates' performance. You can blame people. You can say, oh, look at Dr. Nope down there with 86 damage per minute. What a disgrace. He's benched. But you wouldn't do that. Not in the Archimedes Cup. Megazord, though. Top
Megazord. Yeah, Megazord going absolutely huge there. 400 damage per minute on a soldier is just incredible. And he was able to get behind a lot of times and just turn eyes, get a load of damage out on the enemy team. And he was actually playing Roamer as well, so he got far less heals than most of the people on the scoreboard, and managed to pull out a ton of frags as well. 38 frags for 20 deaths with 12,000 damage is ridiculous. So great game by him.
So thinking towards the next round here, cause most teams may have already started, we could potentially follow since the game we wanted to cast, Trenchcoat Mafia versus Triangle, was defaulted to Triangle. Go Triangle. We could potentially follow not only Rockets Love You, because their game is going to be delayed since they've only just finished theirs. But I'm going to talk to Kikaltu here and see what he can advise me, which game we could go to next. But looking at the logs one last time, yeah, Megazord and It's doing big work there. It's was looking fairly deadly, in fact. Might have to put him on your short list of scouts for your new Season 20 team, Sideshow.
Absolutely, this is it. We're picking up some upcoming talent here. So even if these teams don't go into Season 20, you know, as the teams that they are for this Archimedes Cup, I can definitely imagine some of the players being picked up for existing teams or forming new teams for Season 20.
Man. It's like Ips disappears and this player called It's appears. You know, it's like, what?
Coincidences everywhere.
Illuminati? I think we should have a riot to decide. Oh, I see as well the TF2 Center. I'm just looking at my Steam messages. I was too engrossed in that game. But there is now a tournament page, especially for the, as Kikaltu said, you know, there was going to be a separate area with the lobbies for the tournament. And you can see that at tournament.tf2center.com/tournament. But right now, it seems to be empty. So I guess most of the games are already underway. But we'll be going to one of them. Just have to figure out which one. Stroking my beard here. My imaginary beard, Sideshow.
Your imaginary beard to go with your imaginary hair.
Hey man. That's accurate.
That's just a little too true to be funny. So yeah, we'll figure out soon which game we're going to be throwing into next. Is Gio here?
I am.
You are. How about in the meantime you give us a little update on the raffles? How have they been going, man?
Well, they've been going pretty well, I should say. Right now we're raffling off a key and 10 refined to many winners. The last raffle was 20 refined, and actually that went to one each, one item per person, and so we don't exactly have time to share all of those names, but one person I did want to point out, and it's a lesson for all of you, is Mr. Well Done, who is the lucky winner of one refined medal, and he actually is a donator plus on scrap.tf, which means he donated above $30. And so that investment is really starting to pay off, because as you can see, and as has been confirmed just now, if you're donator plus, we rigged the raffles for you.
That's a
Fair
great
enough.
perk.
It looks like I'll have to start donating before you start raffling off the big earbuds and things at the end. But a key in this raffle is we're really stepping it up here, Jill, aren't we?
Oh yes, we have a lot more planned, especially for the grand finals. I think you're going to be very pleasantly surprised by those raffles.
Not bad, not bad. And with only 10 minutes remaining and a winning chance of 2.7%, I am very optimistic about my chances in this one. Hopefully all the people listening to the Twitch chat will not realize what we're talking about and won't enter, so that I have more chance of winning. Oh, dash it all! Look what we've done. The percentage chance of winning is going down by the second.
That doesn't say 100% for you.
If I donate
100% for me.
So right now I'm looking at this tournament page on TF2 Center, and I'm like just jumping into the random lobbies and asking them, what game is it? I'm just gonna bomb somebody's game and stream it.
That's a good idea. So what kind of things are on the cards, Admirable? What kind of replies have you been getting?
I see the lobby's full. They've got 12 players. Everything looks like it's good. But they're saying that they aren't going. Ready up. I'm going to tell them ready up. I'm actually doing technical support for TF2 Center here live on air. I think they're wondering why it isn't starting. Oh yeah, rejoin.
So while Admirable provides some technical support and sorts out...
Have you tried turning it on and off?
That's essentially what you're advocating there. So while Admirable sorts that out for a team and gets things sorted, we will be with you shortly with some more 6v6 action in this Archimedes Cup. So what's the word on the street for the third round that we were going to be casting as well, Admirable? Are they still all good?
Yeah, as far as I know, San Alex hasn't told me otherwise, but I'm just trying to, do a little bit of super sleuthing here. I found this lobby, but now I need to find the players on ETF2L, so I can say with some confidence what game we're going to cast next. And it appears to be, yes, a team called 612. Playing in a game against a team called Six Little Blunts. I think that's the game we're going to go for. Just because I randomly picked it on TF2 Center as a game that was about to start. So why not? Why not?
I think that's the game. A pretty good idea. So what was that? Sorry, what are the team names for everybody listening?
Six Little Blunts. Lil, that is, I'm from the street. I don't complete the word little, I say lil. Playing off against, they're from the UK, according to ETFL, and they're playing off against a Hungarian team. Or is that Hungary? Yeah.
It is. You've managed to get your you've managed to get your flags correct. Yeah, that's a Hungarian team, 612.
6,12, I believe they're called, yes. You have to pronounce the comma. But I'm just getting Kakeltu to then tell me which server it's on. So, he'll tell me as soon as it launches. Servers are reserved when the lobby goes live. Okay.
So I'm just having a look through both of the teams now, trying to figure out whether they have buddies, what they're up to. It looks like Six Little Blunts don't have a buddy. They're just going to be a completely new team as far as I can see. We do have the roster there. And the team 612 do have the buddy. The buddy is played at about a Div 5 level, I think. Normally plays Demoman. His name's Yoshi. I'm going to absolutely butcher that name, but I'm going to call him Yoshi. So a full Hungarian team against what looks like a full UK team, but may not be. They all have international flags on ETF2L, so who knows? But it should be a good game either way. It doesn't look like anybody's going to be particularly carried by a really experienced buddy, and it doesn't look like any of these players particularly have experience in cups or Division 6 or anything like that. Of course, the restrictions for this cup were that you had to be in inverted commas new to competitive TF2, so you were allowed to have one season at the lowest division level, so one season in Division 6 or one season in the lowest level of Highlander or wherever that whatever that would correspond to in the scene that you play in. So if you're American, you're allowed one season experience in the lowest level there. If you had anything higher than that, you were only allowed to play as a buddy. The buddies are restricted to medic, so they won't be influencing the game as much as they would on a fragging class, but they're still able to provide a bit of experience in calling and things like that. So it's really helpful to get that kind of mentoring from a buddy. And those teams generally doing a little better, but we've definitely seen some teams without a buddy really bringing it to this competition.
Yeah, it's practically cheating having a buddy. But those are the rules of the tournament. It's like, yeah, I'm going to get Banny, the greatest TF2 player of all time, to tell me how to play the game. Okay. But at least those guys are handicapped by an obscene ping.
They really are. Those guys, when we looked at them last week, had between 100 and 200 ping, so that's difficult to play with, to say the least.
They knew what they were getting into when they signed up, although it seemed like reading the feedback last weekend, some teams didn't realise they'd have to play on European servers unless otherwise agreed upon, but I think that was the least of the problems last weekend. This game, the server hasn't initialised yet, but I'm pretty sure we're going to stick with it, I randomly found it. They're waiting for a server to become available. Oh, that's what it says now. I'm just watching this unfold live, but unfortunately the game we were going to cast, Trenchcoat Mafia versus Triangle, one of the teams that talked to us on Reddit, was defaulted. So the Triangle guys are messaging me on Steam and they're really heartbroken that their game isn't going to be casted. They're asking could they be casted next in the later round, but we've already said we're going to cast San Alex's Comunidade Portuguese, the New Wave edition. So I guess that gives them the encouragement they need to make it through to the knockout stages, so then we can cast them right.
Yeah, that's like that's the only other option. They have to make it through now. They've got the morale boost that they need. They've got the motivation to be casted. So yeah, if those guys make it through to the next stages, then I guess they'll be the first on our list to get casted. They seem pretty keen.
There may be potentially a server shortage on tonight, considering the number of competitions that are happening. That Sunshine Cup has like 128 teams going at it. Although I suppose it's only 64 now, it's in the knockouts, but like that's 32 servers required for play. Then there's 50 games happening here in round 2 of this. Serve me.tf is going to be pretty overstretched tonight. But that other tournament is actually being streamed right now on Team Fortress TV 2. Just add a number 2 onto your URL and Twitch there and you'll be there, but you can always watch the VODs later. Why would you want to leave this incredible display of new talent in competitive Team Fortress 2 that is the first TF2 Center Archimedes Cup, sponsored by Scrap.tf. We're here right now on Team Fortress TV. This is Admirable. We got Sideshow and Suyooo on the camera. Zeal's still lurking around there, and we're going to have more people coming to join us throughout the evening. Well, assuming we don't get delayed too much here or strung up. I'm still waiting to see if this lobby is going to get underway. Sideshow, who can I talk to? Kakalti, yes, he'll give me the inside track.
The last thing I saw Kakalti doing was causing an absolute riot in the Twitch chat, so I wouldn't pin my hopes on him, but if we manage to get some information squeezed out of him, then I guess that's all good. So we will be going to our next game fairly shortly as soon as we find out what's going on here. We are having it run much more smoothly than last week. Last week we had some technical difficulties and it was all delayed and it was a panic and everything was going wrong. But this week it's all been fairly smooth. We've already had our first game. We saw Chapman, if you missed that, face up against Not Only Rockets Love You. That was a sweet game. Not Only Rockets Love You, unfortunately, just getting squeezed out of that competition. 5-2 the final score, but it was a great showing by Chapman. So it'll also be interesting, Admirable, to see as this develops the teams that make it into the knockout rounds, and to see whether any of the teams that we've followed so far make it there. Yeah. Do you have faith in Chapman? Do you think that Banny's team are going to storm through it? You seem to be putting a lot of stock in the fact that Banny's playing. I don't believe in those guys. I reckon the 200 ping is going to overcome the skill factor.
It's got to be all about the bodies, you know. It's obscene. So yeah, it's going to be Banny. It's going to be Commander X. Has Stark got a team in that? Or did I just make that up?
Yeah, Stark did have a team in that. I think his team got knocked out. So a little unfortunate there.
So I'm not laughing at the team, I'm laughing at Stark's inability to lead them to victory. That amuses me. But I do have an STV coming up, so I'll just stifle my laughter for now. I think it's gonna be the same as before. 27102. I'll share that with the Twitch chat as well. Join this game immediately, and I'll get the live stats coming too. Yeah, everything's under control. We're doing it. Can you remember the names of the team? Don't worry, I've still got the window open here somewhere. Yes.
Yeah, we've got 6 Little Blunts playing against 612, so both of them with 6 in their name. That's going to get confusing. It might just be the Little Blunts against 612.
Yeah, join that STV. Tell me what you see, Sideshow, because I'm still whipping up a live stat storm here as well. Oh, right. Kakalti messages me to say that, wait, they're moving.
Oh, so they're moving already. Goodness me, I just connected to the server.
The server has proven unacceptable. These Archimedes Cup players, they're just all divas, clearly. I've got 30 ping, I can't play here. This is disgusting.
They're just refusing to play with the with that ping disadvantage.
Been watching
of 30.
Too many Ips games. Like, no, this server's unacceptable. Change.
Ips and T-Mac, the famous divas of ping and servers. I guess Cadus gets an honorary mention in there as well.
Absolutely. Okay, I've got the new server info. Things are happening. Do you have complete faith in me, Sideshow?
I have complete faith in your ability to organise things, Admirable. Have you ever led us astray?
That's what I need to hear, you know. It's helping me single task very fast here. The new STV's coming up. It's going to be the same again. So just head on over there to factorbrigade.eu 27102 if STV floats your boat, but why would you not just stay here? We've got the king of casters, or the king of streamers. Well, I'm the king of casters, but the king of streamers, Suyooo, as well here. I've got to mention that at least once a cast, Sideshow. I'm number 1 and you're number 2, right?
Yeah, you just want to crush me further into the dust.
But yeah, that STV will be coming up momentarily. It is going to be 6 little blunts versus 6,12. See, there's strange use of the comma side. So, you know, across Europe, some cultures use it as like a decimal point.
Oh, of course, yeah. I think that's what Hungary will be doing. I think most European countries, yeah, probably. I think most European countries use it as a decimal point, don't they? I think we're the odd ones for using a period as a decimal point. I'm not quite sure how it works, but it's very possible that this team is called 6.12. But that's a little bit of a mouthful as well.
So head on to STV. Tell me what you see, man.
I did. I just popped onto the STV. It was the boys from Not Only Rockets Love You, so something odd going on there. But they are just changing the map now, so it's possibly toddling over to process, and we'll see those teams joining. So it is just changing the map at the moment. We'll see what's happening as soon as we're able to connect to the server and have a look. Are you expecting these teams to be on and ready already, Admirable, or are they just joining?
Probably just joining. They did just change server. I think we have all our moving parts assembled here. We've got the STV. Kelty's just about to execute the live stats for us. So we have, you know, the full arsenal available. I'm going to share that with Suyooo as well. Yep. I'm going to say with a fair degree of certainty that we'll be getting underway in mere minutes yet again, but we're already 30 minutes behind in this round, so those poor Portuguese guys might have to delay their game for us slightly. Wink, wink. If you're listening, San Alex, you know, you got to help your casting buddy out.
Yes, I am on the server at the moment. It does look like it's just ready and waiting for those players to join. We are on CP process. For this, is this round 2 that CP process is? Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, process round 2, granary round 3. I see someone in Twitch chat telling me to join their game, Mr. Ollie. No deal, Mr. Ollie, no deal. We fought long and hard to just randomly pick a game from the open lobbies. I'm not going to change my mind now. I'm actually launching TF2 yet again. I'm ready to see some 6 little blunts versus 6.12. I'm going to call them.
Yeah, that would be good if we could find those teams. But,
you know.
It seems like we may have a completely different game going on here. I think we've got the Not Only Rockets Love You against their next team. I think we've managed to somehow find our way onto that fixture instead.
Ask Kelty been just feeding me lies here.
I think he has. This is Not Only Rockets Love You against Spettacolari, apparently. So this is a completely different game to the one that you told me it would be. I guess we could follow Not Only Rockets Love You into their next round, or we could try and find the game that you originally promised us. It's up to you, Admirable. What's the decision, O King of the Casters?
I'm just calling as like message Kikalti on Steam. Different game, idiot. See what he says. He says, yeah, this is the not only Rocket Slavy round 2 game. So in the interest of time, Sideshow, I think this is the game that we're going to cast.